America's Most Dangerous Pets tonight at 9 on BBC Two. James and Nikki are here. Are you any good at cooking? What did you cook last time you were on?
Oh, it was terrible.
What did you cook? Do you remember?
It's some sort of chicken thing that I had to slice in half.
Did you cook?
No, I'm a good cook, yeah. My mum taught me when I was really young because I was hanging around the kitchen and the condition was if I hang around the kitchen I had to learn what she was doing. So.
All right, what did you cook?
Can I have, like, what, not to do a good roast dinner, not to do a good lasagna, like mackerel fish cakes, they're good.
They're good.
Yeah.
That's good. Yeah, I can't remember when you were on last time, Ricky, and you did do that kind of one-handed thing. Well, kind of like, you didn't connect with it at all. It was a bit like, yeah, OK, I'll do it.
I never go in the kitchen, except to open a pack of crisps.
So what we
OK, we're going to make savoury Portuguese tarts. Those little sweet Portuguese tarts made with puff pastry that we've all had. No reason why they can't be savoury. So we've got some cream milk bubbling away there. Then we've got some mustard, a bit of cornflour, a little bit of vanilla, even though it's savoury, just gives a nice edge to it, a little bit of perfume. Some eggs, we're just using the yolks, and some thyme, then we've got puff pastry. So, first job, James, if you'd like to separate the eggs, and I just want the yolks in there. We don't need the whites at all.
I'm glad I'm not doing that.
Yolks in there?
Yolks in there.
Gotcha.
Yeah, please.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'll
Here we go.
Eggs are always the thing with all of our guests that are always the interesting thing. See, the man knows,
He knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
It's like the scene at the Impress file.
Look at this. Whilst you're doing that, you've got a new book out as well, haven't you, Nikki?
Yes.
It's called the what is it called?
Death of a Polaroid.
Death of a Polaroid. Explain what it is. While you're doing it, we've got some shots coming up. So.
Well, I just collected about 6 to 10,000 Polaroids over the last 20 years with my own and Mitch Akita, our long-time collaborator, and I've narrowed it down into this kind of beautiful. It's like a family album when when I was growing up in the 70s. James looking particularly happy there. Sean looks miserable on every one of them.
So you put them all together in a book, and then Polaroids are great, aren't they? I bought Polaroids for my kids for a present because it's because they're so immediate.
Yeah,
they're
magic. I literally thought in the 70s it was like a magic trick when my mum and dad first had them. Watching them develop in front of your eyes. So,
but they're expensive.
They are. I mean, I dread to think how much money I spent on them.
Really?
I quite like the way they age as well.
Exactly, yeah. They deteriorate and, the colours. Just like memories, they kind of go sepia and blur.
While James is cooking, you can do the Polaroids. There you go.
Okay. All right, so James, next job, so we've got the yolks in there, then we tip in, I put the vanilla in, tip in the cornflour, the Dijon, I'll do a bit of thyme for you, and then just give that a quick whisk together.
Flour all in one go, or can
all in one, yeah, you can all go in one go, really, and then just beat it all together. And then...
No.
If this is the Impossible Project film, it doesn't work. Because the Polaroid went bust, see? So what's come in between is very difficult to get.
Yeah, mustard goes in as well.
Polaroid went bust, did it?
Yes, it did. And these films are going for like 50, 60 quid.
Really?
It's a really good investment. I had thousands of them.
Because you can say that, but have they started remaking them, or is that just a rumour?
These are the remade ones, they don't work.
Right.
Unless you go like this and put them in a fridge for 2 hours and stuff. And they do work. They are lovely people at the Impossible Project. It's very hard to get.
I'm confused about what you're saying. What are you saying?
Well,
they're not the proper film.
That's not Polaroid film.
Right. But it'll still work. No.
It's going really well.
You can get them to work, but it takes a lot of effort. Whereas the old ones, you just literally snapped and
See
everything.
the passion that comes out of him when he talks about this?
Yeah. OK, so now we've whistled that together. James, keep whisking.
I will keep trying.
And I'll just add... Now we're making our custard, so we've warmed the milk. A little bit goes in, first of all, so we make a bit of a paste, so it loosens it. And then the rest goes in.
Oh, that's brutal.
Whilst you're walking around, Nikki, I've got another question for you. This always happens, but this is from Dan. Do you still have an obsession for hoovering, as you mentioned last time you were on the show?
I'm just obsessed with cleanliness. Yes, it's next to godliness.
Andy Forsyth says for both of you, are you going to do any more solo projects? You both had a little stint at solo, haven't you, in your time?
Yeah, I preferred life in the band, because kind of he organises everything, so when I was doing my solo thing, I was late all the time.
That's really interesting. So you both went off and did your solo, and you just didn't enjoy it, really? It's just better to be in a band, is it?
It's much more fun being the three of us. It really was. It was, it's just...
I have arguments every day. I had nobody to argue with, basically.
So we're just arguing with ourselves.
So, second stage.
Oh, no, they don't work. That's rubbish, isn't it?
These won't appear, really, will they? So this, you can see already this is starting to thicken as the eggs cook. We let them go cold, and we cover it so that it doesn't get the skin in it. So that's our savoury custard. So all the hard work is done. Now, the next bit, what makes these little tarts interesting? So, James, you want to cut that in half down the middle, then lay one piece on top of the other.
So does it work if you put it in the fridge, you say?
Yeah, this is my blue period. It's my Picasso blue period.
I'm sticking it in the fridge and see if it works, actually.
And then...
It's gone straight for the freezer.
And then roll that up as if it's a sausage roll.
This way?
Doesn't matter, whichever way, really. And then,
honestly.
Because then basically what we're doing is we're going to break down... we're going to break down the puff pastry so that it won't rise too much. Because if you cook puff pastry, obviously, it does that whole kind of vol au vent type thing. We don't want that. We want these to be a little bit more controlled.
What are we making again?
We're making savoury custard tarts. Yeah. And then, what we do is we cut... You cut this into about 12 pieces, but we'll just do 3 of them. And then, James, next job, as we've got that, give it a little press down, like so. Right. Sprinkling of flour on there and on there, and just roll them into a circle that's big enough to fit into our little baking dish. They can be quite random like that.
Gotcha.
So it's just a bit of that.
All of this?
Yeah, just do those 2, otherwise we will fall off.
And Andy Fox, while you're doing that, says, do you prefer small gigs or stadiums?
I find small gigs completely nerve-wracking because you can see people, whereas bigger gigs you can just close your eyes and pretend, you know, that it's just a seething mass.
Not doing well, yeah.
Your gig at the O2, how many
That's fine, and then just squeeze that in.
I don't know, 16, 18,000, 20,000?
So that'll do you. And then just spoon custard into the middle of those. OK, so that's our savoury custard.
Yeah, I should have got my hands cold before you work with that pastry and stuff.
You've done a great job under extremely difficult conditions.
The freezer's made a little bit of...
by my bandmate.
Yeah, you can get a tiny bit more, you can see.
Yeah, I can just about see that ghostly image.
It's a Polaroid camera, but the film is made by this lovely company, and they're trying to sort of bring it all together, unfortunately. It's very... It's a bit of a lottery.
So
some of the pictures work and some don't?
Yeah.
When they come out, this is what we get. So we get, and you see, because we've squashed down the puff pastry, it doesn't turn into some great big monster. And then to serve it, all we do with these, a little bit of rocket on there. We've got a bit of chutney. You can use whatever you want on this. Spoon.
OK, spoon. Right, Simon finishes off the custard tarts. Louise has some deja vu news for us. Guys, if you'd like to come over now, Joan. Thank you.
OK, thanks, Tim. We can reveal the deja vu year when Will Clampett started in the UK and Annie Lennox was belting out this song was what year, Peter?
1983.
83.
I was right.
You got that right.
82.
Go for it, dig in, fella.
Peter, we got some emails coming in. Try that, James. What can you advise people who have lost businesses in the recession? I don't know why I'm laughing, because that's horrible, but what advice can you give to people in the recession at the moment? Maybe not people who've lost it, but people who are that's from Demahu.
It's really difficult, but when the last recession happened, we didn't have the internet. The internet is a great resource to sell any product, and you can almost buy and sell products without owning them. So start a business, think about it online, and start again. But the most important thing is don't give up.
Don't give up.
Don't give up. Don't give up. Learn from your experience.
One really quick question that we've all wondered. Terry says, is the money next to you in the den real?
No.
Isn't it?
No.
Oh.
No, it's not real. No.
I've always thought they're sitting there amongst all that money.
Colour photocopied.
Is it?
Yeah.
Another dream
I mean,
destroyed.
the BBC want me to say yes, it is.
There's no more today. Thanks to our guest Peter Jones, plus James Dean Bradfield, Nicky Wilde and Manic. We'll be here next week. So see you next week. Bye-bye. Toby, he's here. The guys from, what's that show called?
Him and Her.
Him and Her,
Him and
that's
Her.
it. Yeah. So enjoy your Sunday, whatever you're up to. See you Sunday. Bye-bye.